1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, you caught me getting ready for birthday. I was just counting my candles. Did you work out how many that I actually had? I had 12. 12. I need to get some more actually. But yes, I had 12. Right, well done if you got 12. Can you remember how to spell it? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to recap on our numbers 1 to 31. We're going to think about how to say them and how to spell them. And then we're going to have a little bit of time thinking about how we say the months of the year in French. And then we're going to put them together and have a very simple conversation to ask, how old are you? And to be able to tell somebody how old you are, and then to be able to ask, when is your birthday? And to be able to answer that question. So what you could do, if you'd like to, you could pause the video and have a think about how to write the numbers 1 to 31 in French with the spellings. So if you'd like to just jot down 1 to 31, take your time, think about your spellings. You can then press play back on the video and see how you did. Right, so I'm now going to remind us how we say and spell the numbers 1 to 31. So let's have a look, see if we can remember. You ready? I'll say them and then you repeat them. So I'll say them the first time and then you repeat with me for the second time, okay? So the first one is ah. How do we say it? Ah. And that's how we spell it. Now, I just want to pause here because ah, as we know, means 1. And if we're counting particular objects, we actually would need to have a little think with ah. Is our object masculine or feminine? Because that would then depend if we say un or une. If we're just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we don't need to worry about that. We would always say un. So to recap, if I was counting objects, for example, if I was counting apples, which is feminine, it's une pomme, I would have to say une pomme, so B-U-N-E. However, if I was counting, say, mandarins, which is un mandarin, mandarin is masculine, I would say un mandarin, deux mandarins, like that. But for the purpose of today, where we are just counting in succession, we're not counting objects, then it's un, deux, trois. Okay. Oh, given some of them away. So there we go. Ah, moving on. Deux. Deux. Trois. Trois. Quatre. Your turn. Quatre. Cinq. Cinq. Six. Six. How are you doing? Could you remember those numbers? And if you have written them down, how was your spelling? Sept. Sept. Huit. Huit. Neuf. Neuf. Dix. Dix. Onze. Sorry, I should have given you time to say onze. Douze. Douze. I remember that one by saying a dozen in my mind sometimes. 12 is a dozen. So douze. Treize. Your turn. Treize. Remember that E is before the I in this word. Quatorze. Quatorze. It's got that similar beginning to quatre, hasn't it? Quatorze. Quinze. Quinze. Seize. Seize. 17. 17. 18. 18. 19. 19. 20. 20. Remember V-I-20. NGT. So how did you do it up to 20? Let's carry on. 21. Can you remember what 21 is? Let's have a look. So we have now 21. Your turn. 21. 22. 22. Your turn. 22. 23. 23. Your turn. 23. 24. 24. 24. 25. 25. Say it with me. 25. 26. 26. 26. 27. 27. 27. 28. 28. 28. 29. 29. Whoops, sorry. That wasn't very good. 29. And 30. 30. 30. And 31. 31. 31. So there you go. Those were the numbers. I just want to come to 29, or if you're saying 9, 9, or 19, 19, or 29, 29. Sometimes I do see it spelled N-E-R-F. Remember, it's N-E-U-F. Okay, the months of the year. So if you are interested in looking at the months of the year, let me stop sharing for a moment. If you're interested in looking at the months of the year and you want to know the history behind the names, how they got the names, you could look at Madame Yates' French videos from a few months ago when I do specifically talk about the months. But for now, we're going to have a bit of time to practice how we say the 12 months of the year. Okay, so just practicing that. So some of you might know it already. For some of you, it might be a refresher. Some of you, it might be completely new. If you know it, again, think about the spellings. Think about, are there accents? Are there any that are the same or similar to English? Are there any that are entirely different? And let's remember, when we're looking at the months of the year, same as days of the week, in French, unless it's in a title, it would be written with a small letter. It would not be written with a capital, unlike in for ourselves. So I'm going to share my screen again, and we're going to look at the months of the year. So hopefully you can see that. We've got Janvier. So I'll say it and you repeat, Janvier. So I've left the English in there so that you can see which month is coming up next. So here we go. Février. Février. Your turn. Février. So we have January, Janvier. Then we have February, excuse me, Février. If you know it, can you remember the next one? Mars. Your turn. Mars. And for April, in French, we say avril. Avril. So I'm going to give you some time in a moment to be able to write these down as well. But let's just repeat them together first of all. Mai. Mai. That's an easy one. June, juin. Juin. July. So repeat after me. Juillet. Juillet. Your turn. That's right. Juillet. And August. Août. Août. Lovely summer month. Septembre. Your turn. Septembre. And then October. Octobre. Octobre. November. Novembre. Novembre. And December. Décembre. Décembre. Now, that was fairly quick, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to have a look at those months, all 12 together. And I'm going to then suggest that maybe you pause the video and write them down. So think about the spelling. Once you're looking at them written down and you've paused that video, think about the fact that they're not spelled with a capital letter at the beginning. Think about those 3 with accents. Février, août, décembre. Think about the way those accents go. Okay, what do they look like? Make sure you are putting the accents the right way, because that changes. If you've got an accent on an E, the way that the accent is the way that the accent is written changes the sound of that letter that it's above. Okay, in these instances. Right, let's have a look at those together then. Let's head back here. And here we go. So here we go. Les mois de l'année. The months of the year. We'll say them one more time. Janvier. Février. Février. It's got the accent, an acute accent over the E. Mars. Mars. Avril. Avril. Mai. Mai. Juin. Juin. Juillet. Juillet. Août. Août, and it's got a circumflex accent over the U. Septembre. Septembre. Octobre. Octobre. Novembre. Novembre. Décembre. Décembre. And again, Décembre, it's like Février, it's got an acute accent over the E, making that E sound. Février. Décembre. Now, when we're in class, it's really interesting to pick these apart and see which ones are the same as ours, which ones are similar, what are the differences. And what's quite handy with Septembre, Octobre, Novembre, Décembre, they are very, very similar indeed. It's just the R and the E are the other way around. Avril, Mai, quite similar as well. So take your time. Press pause, write them down. So what you should end up with is your written numbers. And if you didn't want to recap, then maybe you've got them from last week, the previous video. And you should end up with written months of the year. So we are going to put those together now. We are going to have a very short conversation, 2 questions and 2 answers. Let's see how we get on. And don't forget, if you know it, use it as an opportunity to recap and think about how you could challenge yourselves within that. So my final screen share. Let's have a look. So we are going to look at asking the question, quel âge as-tu? Quel âge as-tu? So let's have a look. Quel âge as-tu? Quel âge as-tu? Well, it's a question. Let's change our voice. Quel âge as-tu? What do you think that's asking us? Little clue, isn't it? Because âge is so similar to age. So how old are you? Literally translated, it means what age do you have? So, but we'd put it into English, wouldn't we? That's one of our language skills, is translating, but actually in a way that we would speak, in a way that we would say a sentence. So, how old are you? Quel âge as-tu? Quel âge as-tu? And just a little point here. I've used tu. In French, there are 2 different ways of saying you, tu or vous, depending on who you're speaking to. So tu tends to be more of a friendly way of saying you. You'd use it with your friends, people that you know very well, members of your family, perhaps. So we're going to use this one. Quel âge as-tu? You have a go. Let's do it together. Quel âge as-tu? So how do we answer that? Somebody said to me, quel âge as-tu? I would have to say, I am X amount of years old. So the way we say that would be j'ai, then we put in our number, our age, and R, years old. Literally translated, it means I have however many years. J'ai is I have. However many years. We wouldn't say it like that in English. We would say, I am so such and such years old. So for example, if somebody said to me, quel âge as-tu? And I said I was 7 years old, what might I say? I would say, j'ai 7 ans. J'ai 7 ans. I am 7 years old. So, whoops, going the wrong way here. Madame Yates. So, in order to answer that question, technical hitch. I've done it again. Got the wrong way. Apologies. In order to answer that question, thank you for bearing with me. Quel âge as-tu? J'ai 7 ans. J'ai 7 ans. I am 7 years old. And you could challenge yourself to actually write 7 in words, couldn't you? What about if you were 8 years old? J'ai 8 ans. And again, you could write in there, j'ai, H-U-I-T, for 8, j'ai 8 ans. What about if you were 9? J'ai 9 ans. J'ai 9 ans. So there you go. You've asked a question, and you now know if someone asked you how you would answer. Quel âge as-tu? How old are you? J'ai 8 ans. I am 8 years old. So how about this? Quand est ton anniversaire? Quand est ton anniversaire? When is your birthday? And again, it's a friendly way of saying it, the informal way. When is your birthday? And I know some of you might recognize that anniversaire, and in this instance, anniversaire is birthday. When is your birthday? How do we say that in French? Quand est ton anniversaire? Quand est ton anniversaire? One more time. When is your birthday? Say it in French. Quand est ton anniversaire? Quand est ton anniversaire? And the way we answer that, my birthday, okay, and this is specifically for me, my birthday, mon anniversaire est le. Mon anniversaire est le. My birthday is the. My birthday is the. One more time. Mon anniversaire est le. And mine is the 8th of March. Oh, I should have asked you to guess it. The 8th of March. So I would say, mon anniversaire est le 8 mars. So there you go. Mon anniversaire est le 8 mars. So, you know what's coming next. I am going to show you that vocabulary again. So I would like you to practice, if you want to, asking somebody how old they are and answering, and somebody answering, or you answer, you could make up a conversation, a dialogue, you could create a comic strip. I have one person with a speech bubble. Quel âge as-tu? How old are you? Another person in a speech bubble. J'ai, I am, say, 9 ans. 9 years old. Then another speech bubble. Quand est ton anniversaire? When is your birthday? Mon anniversaire est le, and then the date. Okay, so you're going to put together the number in writing and the month. Now, if you are doing that, remember it'd be great to have the full sentence. Instead of saying quel âge as-tu, instead of just saying 10, it'd be really great to say j'ai 10 ans. Just to practice. And similarly with the birthday, instead of just saying, somebody says, quand est ton anniversaire? Instead of just going, le 8 mars. Mon anniversaire est le 8 mars. That just puts it into a really lovely sentence. So I'm just going to show you that again. That's the question. Pause it if you want to write it down. Quel âge as-tu? J'ai, however many years old you are. Okay, and then for the when is your birthday, and I'll show you for mine. The question, quand est ton anniversaire? When is your birthday? Mon anniversaire est le, and then you put in the number, the date. Challenge yourself, do it in writing. Spell it. And the month. My birthday is the 8th of March. Okay, so I'm going to just throw in a couple of questions I've got here. Let's have a look. So, for example, if my daughter was here and we asked her when was her birthday, she might say the 24th of August. So have a think. What would that be? The 24th of August. You could just say it. You could press pause and try and write it down. The 24th of August. It would be, let's have a look at the first part. I'm going to spell it. Le 24. So I put the, begging pardon, the. Le 24. Okay. Août. So, le 24 août. We've got our small letter, our small a, and we've got our accent over the U. So, le 24 août, 24th of August becomes 24 août. Now, remember, you might notice if we're just writing it in digits, we wouldn't put the TH. So in French, they wouldn't have TH or RD, say for third, or ST for 21st. You would just have the digits if you were just writing the date and you weren't spelling the words for the numbers. Let's try a different one. Okay, let's try, this is Mr. Yates's birthday. So here we go. His birthday is the 14th. How would you say the 14th in French? Have a think. And here's the month. Pardon? February. So his birthday is 14th of February. Yes, it is. So how would we say the 14th of February? Have a think. We would say le 14. Le 14 février. Le 14 février. Le 14 février. And the final challenge, before I'm going to leave you to practice on your own, would be if somebody asked my son the question, what would they be asking him? Quand est ton anniversaire? Quand est ton anniversaire? He would answer, mon anniversaire. Mon anniversaire. Sorry, I'm moving it around. It's a bit much there. I've still got my birthday in the end. Mon anniversaire est le, and his is on the 18th of November. So he would say, mon anniversaire est le, how would we say 18th? Quick think. Did you get this? Le 18. Well done if you did. And November, have a think. Novembre. Mon anniversaire est le 18 novembre. I'm moving that around. Okay, well done. Brilliant. And if you've got a birthday coming up and you wanted to sing it in French, happy birthday. Some of you have practiced with me before. Same tune for happy birthday. Excuse the fact that's gone over 2 lines. We would say joyeux anniversaire. Joyeux anniversaire. Now, normally we don't say the last letter of the word, but in this instance, we would run the final sound there into the A. So we would say, if you want to say happy birthday to somebody, if they've got birthday coming up, joyeux anniversaire, joyeux anniversaire, joyeux anniversaire, joyeux anniversaire. So there you go, lots to think about. Lots to think about. Recapping the numbers 1 to 31. practicing the months of the year. Remember, there is a previous video if you really want to take your time to know a bit more about those. Practice those. And then a conversation. Haven't we learnt a lot today? Or practiced? How old are you? I am. Quel âge as-tu? J'ai 21, 21 years old. And when is your birthday? Quand est ton anniversaire? My birthday is, mon anniversaire est le, and then the date, the number, the date. See if you can write it, spell it, and the month. Okay, plenty. All right, have fun with that. Until next time, au revoir.